Hi everybody, it's Deborah from PeopleLovingAnimals.com. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching today's video. Today's video is called How to Trim a Cat's Nails at Home. In today's video, we're going to go over several things. We're going to talk about how to make your cat comfortable enough so they'll let you trim their nails. We're going to talk about how to actually trim the nails. We're going to talk about what to do if you cut a toenail too short. We're also going to talk about how often you should trim your cat's nails, and if you happen to be here because you're trying to figure out how to trim your cat's nails because they are scratching up your furniture, we're going to talk a little bit about that, and I'll give you some resources to help you with that as well. So again, thank you so much for watching. If the video is helpful, please go ahead and give it a like. It really does help YouTubers when you do that. So if you have not been here before, my name is Deborah. I own this website called PeopleLovingAnimals.com, and we're going to use this article called How to Cut a Cat's Nails at Home to guide us through today's video. I'm going to give you a link to this article in the description box, and I'm also going to give you a link to everything we talk about in the video. If you are not already subscribed, I would love to have you on board as a subscriber. I do videos several times a month all about the care and health and training of dogs and cats, and please share the channel with your friends and family who have a dog or a cat, because they might appreciate having this sort of information as well. So let's go ahead and get started. First of all, whenever you're at the vet, don't hesitate to ask your vet to do a quick nail trim with your cat. If your vet doesn't have time, one of the veterinary aides might just have time. So you might as well take advantage of it when you happen to be at the vet. Go ahead and ask for a quick nail trim. Also, you can take your cat to a local groomer. You can also take them to places like PetSmart and Petco if you want to have their nails done. But the easiest way is for you to learn how to cut a cat's nails at home, and there's no reason why trimming your cat's nails at home has to be difficult if you learn how to do it correctly and safely. And I think by the end of today's video, you're going to have more confidence about this, okay? Now, first of all, how to make your cat comfortable with nail trimming. Since most cats are a bit anxious and some are downright really scared of nail trimming, it's smart to take a few days to do the steps I'm going to talk with you about here before you start trying to trim your cat's nails. The first thing you should do is start handling your cat's paws. Start by petting your cat's paws, and then hold their paws, and then start massaging the paws, like the toes, a little bit at a time over a period of a few days, and allow your cat to pull away when they want to, but give them a treat whenever they allow it, okay? Also, let them check out the nail clippers. Don't just whip these nail clippers out of the drawer and come after your cat with them, okay? Just get the clippers out, throw them on the coffee table, let them be out somewhere, let the cat check them out, sniff them, and then also try taking the clippers and just touching each of your cat's paws. And you might touch a paw with the clipper and give a little treat, and then touch another paw with the clipper and give a little treat, and then squeeze the clippers so they'll make the noise, you know, that they're going to make when you do the clip. And again, make the click and give a treat, okay? You want to make nail trimming and the clipper a positive experience. The trick here is to get your cat to associate the nail clippers and the nail trimming with treats. Okay, you have to make it a positive experience for your cat. So spend a few days ahead of time doing these things. Wait for the right opportunity. Now, this is my cat Whiskers. If you've been here before, you know I adopted Whiskers as a feral kitten several months ago. He's about 8 months old right now. And when I first started trimming his nails, he will let me know, by the way. When I first adopted him, I knew, because I've had cats for years, I immediately started playing with his paws. Like, as soon as I was able to get him where he would let me hold him and he would let me touch him, I immediately started messing with his paws. So I was ahead of the game by the time it came time to trim his paws, that I already got him used to that, okay? But you can do that too over a period of days, especially if you're giving him treats while you're doing it. And I've gotten to the point now where, well, let me just tell you, the first time I tried to trim his nails, I did one toenail. That's it. Okay. The next day, I was able to trim a whole paw. The second day I was able to do a whole paw. Now he will comfortably allow me to do one paw pretty much whenever I want. He'll let me do 2 paws occasionally. I've yet to have him sit down and just let me do all 4 paws, but that's okay with me. If I can get 1 or 2 paws done and then the next day I do a couple more, you know, just go slowly with it. Now, there he is sitting in his cat tree, and one of the things you should do is wait for the right opportunity. Now, the right opportunity for me with Whiskers is when he's relaxing in this cat tree. He likes to sit in front of the window. He's very relaxed. He naps in this tree. He's just very mellow when he's hanging out at the top of this cat tree. And so it's nice, too, because the cat tree is 4 or 5 feet tall, so I can just walk right up to it and pet him, and, you know, I don't have to bend over. I don't have to try to hold him on my lap or anything. So to me, it's just like the most convenient thing. I always trim his nails while he happens to be hanging out in his cat tree. And I will give you a link to these cat trees. You can get them on Amazon, all different sizes, all different varieties, all different prices. On Amazon. I'll give you the link to that. Another thing you could use as an elevated surface like that is a padded ironing board. And again, start out, you know, a few days ahead of time. If you have your ironing board open in your laundry room all the time, or just set it up, you know, before you're going to do the cat trimming, put them on the ironing board, give them treats, pet them. Again, so a positive association with the ironing board. But it is nice to have your cat sitting up on something so that you're not trying to hold them on your lap and you're not, you know, breaking your back bending over to try to trim their nails. So that's just my advice to do it. So wait for the right opportunity. You wouldn't want to try to, you know, don't try to do your cat's nails if the kids are running around, the dog's running around, you know, if there's a lot of chaos, if the cat's just been playing, you know, that's not the time either. So the best time to trim your cat's nails is right after they've eaten, because they're usually pretty mellow, you know, when their belly is full. When they're either getting ready to take a nap, or they're just waking up for a nap, or if they're just laying around snoozing, and whenever they're relaxed and whenever the house is quiet, okay? Now, as far as how to trim a cat's nails, I went through the tutorials on YouTube, and I like the ones by Chewy. Chewy.com is doing tutorials called tutorials, which I think is kind of stupid, but they're very good. So I'm giving you the link to their step-by-step so you can actually watch this girl do it. I'm going to explain it to you here, but you can also kind of coincide with the video. Now, first of all, you're going to choose nail clippers that you're comfortable with, and if you don't know what to get, then ask your vet, you know, what they would suggest. I'm going to give you a link on Amazon. You'll see there's a whole bunch of varieties. They don't have to be expensive. Just get a pair, and like I said, ask your vet if you want to, if you're unsure which ones to use. Also have Styptic Powder on hand. I'm giving you a link to Amazon. It's very inexpensive, and that's white powder that will stop the bleeding if you happen to cut a nail too short. Now, I'm going to talk about this in just a minute, but you're going to want to have that available before you start. And then you're going to, when you actually go to trim the nails, you're going to grasp the cat's paw gently, and then you press their toes like this to extend the nail so that you can see the cat nail, right? And then just trim off the tip. Now, you want to be really careful, because if you trim too far, you're going to end up cutting what's called the quick, which is the pink part of their nail that's up closest to the paw. And that's where their blood vessels are. Now, there's nerve endings and there's blood vessels in there. And so if you nick that quick, not only is it going to be extremely painful for your cat, but it's going to start bleeding. Now, first of all, don't take a chance. Just trim the edges off until you have more experience. When you get more experience and your cat is more comfortable, then you can start trimming a little bit shorter, but never go beyond the curve of the nail, and never go beyond you know, where that quick is. Now, if you do happen to cut one too short, again, use Styptic Powder. I'm giving you the link. It's very inexpensive. Now, you can also use flour or cornstarch, but I suggest just get the Styptic Powder, because for one thing, it's going to help you be more confident just knowing that you have it. And I know it makes me more confident knowing that I have it, so that if I did by accident cut his nail too short, I have it right there. And I'm guessing it's more effective than flour or cornstarch, so go ahead and get it. Now, if you do cut too short, then you put a little of the white powder, the styptic powder, on your fingers, and you press it onto the nail that you cut too short and hold it for a minute, and that will stop the bleeding, okay? If it doesn't stop the bleeding within a few minutes, then please call your vet and ask for further instructions. And also, if you've done that, first of all, you're going to have to start all over again with your cat, because now they're really afraid of you. Now you have hurt them, okay? So like I say, err on the side of caution. It'll be better for you in the long run to just do the tips, okay? And also, if you happen to do that, pay attention to that claw for a while. Make sure it doesn't get swollen around the claw. Make sure it doesn't get infected, okay? Try not to be scared about this, because if you have the styptic powder next to you, you're going to watch this step-by-step demo video that I'm giving you, and when you start, you're just going to cut those pointy tips off, just the tips, okay? So if you're careful, you're not going to have a problem, okay? Now, how often should you trim your cat's nails? A good rule of thumb is to trim your cat's nails every 2 to 4 weeks, but it does depend. First of all, if your cat regularly scratches on a scratching post or a scratching pad, then they're probably going to need their nails clipped less often. Also, it depends on, how quick your particular cat's nails happen to grow. I'm going to give you a link to scratching posts and scratching pads on Amazon if you don't already have one. Now, clipping your nails, your cat's nails regularly is easier than letting their nails get too long, because first of all, if their nails are too long, that's when they start scratching your furniture. That's when they start getting their claws stuck on your curtains, all that sort of thing. But also, their nails can grow right into the bed of their paws, where they're actually embedding into the paws. And, that's a terrible thing. It's very painful. It can get infected. And then you've got to take the cat to the vet for that, right? To have that taken care of. Then they have to have antibiotics and everything. So it's really to your benefit, not only for the safety of your furniture, but also for your cat and for your pocketbook, because you don't want to end up paying vet bills because your cat had a problem with the claws. Okay, so it is important that you do it regularly. Now, the way that you can know if your cat's nails are too long and they need to be trimmed is, first of all, it's pretty noticeable when their nails are really super pointy. Then you can just see, squeeze a paw now and then and just look. And when they're getting super, super curved and pointy, that's when you want to trim and cut that tip off. Also, if they can't retract them, like for example, if here's their paw and it's covered with fur, when their paw is relaxed, you shouldn't be able to see their claws sticking out, because they retract their claws kind of into their toe. So if they've got their claws retracted, but the tips are still sticking out, if that makes any sense, then, if you can still see them, then they're probably ready to be trimmed. I thought I had another one here. Oh, also, if they're extremely pointy, extremely sharp, and also the way that I know when Whisker's nails are getting too long is that his paws stick to everything. Like, he'll go to bat the curtain. Now, keep in mind, Whiskers is still a kitten, so he's still, exploring everything. And he'll go to touch something, and if it's fabric, his paw gets stuck to it. I've had to go and help him. And so when he starts to have those difficulties, I'll take a look at his nail, and sure enough, his nails are getting pointy again, okay? And because I'm just starting out with him, whenever I do trim his nails, I do it more often and just cut those very tips off, because while I'm in training with him, I can't take a chance of cutting too short and hurting him, because then he's not going to trust me again. And I don't trust me. I've got to get used to him. He's got to get used to me. And so I'm only cutting those tips. So I am kind of having to clip them, I would say, about every 2 weeks, but that's okay with me, because, if you train your cat the way I'm telling you, it's not a hard thing to do, right? You just have to remember to do it. But you'll remember when they're ripping apart your couch, right? Now, also, just be patient and take it slow. If you've been here before, you've seen this picture. This is Whiskers. Look at him. He has little teddy bear feet. His feet are like extra fluffy. I don't know if they're going to be that way when he's a full grown adult, but they're like teddy bear feet. Oh, He's the sweetest boy. I shouldn't put his pictures in here because it always stalls me in the video because I sit and gush over him. Anyway, that's my boy. So be patient and take it slow. Learning how to trim your cat's nails takes practice for you and for the cat, okay? It takes time for both of you to kind of get used to it and get your system in place, and so the cat knows what to expect and you know what to expect. So just take your time with it. And if you have to do one paw at a time, then fine. If you got to do 2 paws today and then do, 2 paws tomorrow night, then if that's what it is, that's what it is. But just be thankful that you're able to do it at home, so you don't have to try to chase him down and get him into the carrier, drive him to the vet, pay for the service. It really is to your benefit to just take the time to get your cat comfortable with this and get yourself comfortable with it, because in the long run, it's just going to be better for both of you. Now, if you do try to trim your cat's nails and they really don't like it, or if they're getting aggressive, you're afraid you're going to get scratched, you might try wrapping your cat in a towel, kind of swaddle them like a baby, wrap them in a towel, and then just expose one paw at a time and trim that paw, and it keeps them from scratching you with the other 3 feet. So, but again, don't take it any further than that, okay? You don't want a situation where you're having an altercation with your cat. You don't want to scare your cat. You don't want to stress out your cat. And you don't want to create a situation where not only will the cat never allow you to trim its nails, but they're not going to let the vet do it either. And you're just going to end up with a problem. So again, anytime if the cat's having a problem, back it up, back it up. Do this process as slowly as you have to. Start over again as many times as you have to, so that you don't end up having a problem with your cat for the rest of the cat's life, right? Also, if you've watched any of my cat training videos, you know if you have a cat who is afraid or stressed out, that ends up turning into a whole bunch of cat behavior issues. They can become aggressive, they can start biting, they can start spraying, they can start peeing in the house, they're afraid of the litter box. Like, there's so many things. There's a video on my YouTube channel called "Why is my cat a nervous wreck? 10 things that stress your cat out." And if you watch that video, you'll understand what I'm talking about. Be very careful not to scare your cat and not to stress them out, okay? Now, also, I do want to make a note for this particular video. I am not a veterinarian. I got the information for this video and for the article that I wrote for my website from 2 articles, one specifically from WikiHow and the other from PetMD, and also from my own personal experience. So you should always consult your veterinarian if you want advice about this, or especially if you're nervous about this, okay? If you're nervous, please go ahead and ask your vet. Now, again, I mentioned, is your cat scratching furniture? Maybe that's why you're here, because you probably watched maybe even my video. One of the first things you can do to stop your cat from scratching furniture is to keep their nails trimmed, because they may be trying to groom their nails. And so that might be why you're here. So again, I'm going to give you that video. It's called "How to Stop a Cat from Scratching Furniture." It gets step by step, and that also tells you that you should trim your cat's nails regularly, and you should also get them using either a scratching post or a scratching pad. In that video, I talk about the difference between a scratching pad and a scratching post, and I also give you step-by-step instructions on how to teach your cat to use the scratching post. Okay. Now, you can also get help from a cat training program called the Complete Cat Training Guide. I talk about this all the time. It's an ebook that you can download. It's only $37, and it does come with a 100% money back guarantee. Now, this particular cat training program covers 25 examples of cat training issues, but it does also cover, number one, how to calm your cat down, which is going to help you with the nail trimming, and it also covers aggression if your cat's wanting to rip your face off when you're trying to trim his nails, and it also covers specifically your cat scratching the furniture. Okay, so if you feel like you really need some help, go ahead and download that. Like I said, it does come with a money back guarantee if you're not satisfied with it, but it's a pretty good program. I think you're going to like it. So now, a couple of things before we go. If you've not been here before, you don't know, I donate to animal charities. I do peoplelovinganimals.com as my job. And I donate 10% of all of the commissions that I earn on the website and also on this YouTube channel to animal charities. And if you go to the homepage of my website, peoplelovinganimals.com, you will see a list of the animal charities that I donate to. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope the video was helpful. If it was, please go ahead and give it a like, and please go ahead and subscribe if you're not already. I would love it if you would please drop a comment. Let me know what you thought of the video, and I would love it if you would come back to this video and comment for anybody watching the video in the future. Did you try these tips? What worked? What didn't? Do you have any more tips that have helped you to trim your cat's nails? Because we can kind of have a little helpful community of cat owners in the comment section where we can all help each other. So again, thank you so much. I hope the video helped. My name is Deborah, and my website is peoplelovinganimals.com. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.